What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Guys, 13 days away. That's it. We're down to the last 2 weeks, all right? If you haven't voted yet, shame on you. If you haven't received your ballot and you haven't called or requested a second ballot, shame on you, all right? If you're giving up and you're not going to vote this tentative agreement, shame on you, all right? The can has been kicked down the road for 20 years, all right? Now, this isn't the year that we continue to kick it down. This is the year that we do something about it, all right? Now, I'm not only talking about this contract, but I'm talking about union leadership, and I'm talking about the state of our country as well, all right? This is the year that we got to start changing stuff, because if we don't, I'm sorry to tell you, but we are in for a rude awakening, all right? Guys, I was watching this video about President Nixon, and when he took the country off of the gold standard, and that was in 1971. And ever since 1971, we've been living with this thing called inflation. All right, guys, so inflation is like a hidden tax, okay? It's a tax on the people, because the cost of goods and services goes up every time inflation goes high. And the thing about inflation is that it is tried to be controlled at a 2% increase every year, which means that the banks and the government says as long as inflation is 2%, we're good, okay? But it's not good when you think about it. That means that our money becomes 2% less worth. It becomes worth less by 2% every year, okay? And that's a standard that they try to accomplish. It doesn't mean that they do. We have years of rampant inflation, like the last 4 years we've been in, where inflation has gone as high as 14%. All right, guys. Right now, I think we're like at a 4%. But that doesn't mean that the prices of things went down. You know, when you think about things that they don't include in inflation, like the cost of housing, that kind of distorts the number, because our housing expenses are probably the most expensive thing that we pay for, all right? And when that's not included in like a number that's being presented to us, we got to know that we're losing, all right? We're in a losing situation, guys. The reason I mention all of that is because some people are doing mathematical equations that are saying that, oh, the tentative agreement equals what inflation would have been, okay, guys? But the cost of things have not gone down, all right? If I was a meteorologist and I tell you that it's going to rain today, but then it's sunshine and butterflies, then next week I tell you it's going to snow, but then it rains, I mean, chances are I'm not going to have a job too much sooner if I keep on lying to you guys, right? But when someone tells you that inflation has gone down, or the cost of living or has reduced, and you know it's a lie, but you're led to believe that it's true, and you keep on believing it, you know, you got to look deeper into that. Remember, guys, we got 13 days. 13 days is all that's left. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Today's the last day of 2024. 13 days from today, we'll see how our union decided on its future. All right. Besides that, I want to let you guys know it's been an amazing journey in the past year with you guys. The last 6 months, more importantly, that I've been doing this, I see that my channel helps people. If I help one person a day, that's my goal. I see some newer carriers didn't understand the TSP, and they don't know how the TSP works. I would love to make more videos on that. That's really where my heart is at. Talking about the financial aspects of growing into the future and saving. All right, guys, because ultimately this job is a great tool. Inside of our TSP, we have access to the S&P 500, and we have access to the Dow Jones at cheaper prices than people in the private sector does, okay? For example, if you wanted to get into a comparable fund in the S&P 500 outside of the TSP, it may cost you about $500 a share. In a TSP, you could get in there for about $80 a share. Okay, so every one share that you buy in the TSP, it will cost you 4 times outside of the TSP, and that's amazing. And that's one of the benefits that we have while we're still considered federal employees. And I know I get a lot of people saying, oh, we can't invest so much money because the cost of living is so high. But you know what? If you don't live like anyone else today, you won't be able to live the way you want tomorrow. And that comes with sacrifice. You know, to be honest, I think there's a big portion of people that are financially suffering. I'm not going to take that away from anybody. But I do know for a fact there are a lot of us that are just living outside of our means. Okay, and what does that mean? We're living on credit cards. We're living with high car payments, right? And those aren't the necessities. When it comes to the bare bone necessities of what we need to survive, I think we can make it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to offer a solution for everybody, but at least in my personal situation, I know I've been living outside of my means. So when people tell me that I can't invest 20-25%, you don't know my situation. Okay, you know nothing about me. All right, I can invest as much as I want. Okay, now when I offer an advice, if you want to become a millionaire in a certain amount of years, that's the number. Okay, that's what it is. If you can't do it, that's fine, you know. But some people can. You know, don't put down the whole amount of people just because you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we have to look at our financial pictures. Okay, we got to see where we can cut back. Is it the latte effect? Are we spending $7 at Starbucks every day? Are we paying $13 at Chipotle every day? Are we buying extra guac? You know what I mean? Or are we meal prepping? Are we buying groceries? Are we using our money wisely? All right, are we budgeting? You know, does our money have a plan at the end of the month? All right, those are things that, you know, an individual has to really overlook to see if they want to be financially free, you know, in the future. And like I said, if all you can do is 10-15%, that's fine. It's going to get you there. It's just going to take longer. All right, guys. But, you know, for someone to tell me personally about my life that they don't know me, you know, you don't know me, bro. Yeah, you know, but I'm definitely into that whole financial world. It's exciting when you see what your money could do for you. And I don't think most of us were taught to know how money works. Okay, I think that we think money could buy us material things. Okay, and then there's a certain type of people that think that money can get you a perfect credit score, which can get you more things. And then there's a different type of person who understands that money can make you money. Okay, if you use money to purchase assets, then the asset can in return give you money, and then with the money you could buy the thing you want. Okay, so you know, there's 3 different ways to look at money. All right, and it is what it is. You know, not everyone is built the same way, you know, and not everyone can follow a cookie cutter advice, you know. But at the end of the day, numbers are numbers. Okay, and if you want to go from point A to point B, there's a simple plan. Okay, it's like losing weight is simple, right? It's not easy, but it's simple, right? If you want to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you eat, right? And if you want to save money, you gotta spend less money than you burn. Okay, the equations are simple, extremely simple. They're not easy, but they're simple. And so life can be real simple, right? Life's not easy, but it could be simple. Anyway, guys, no matter what we get at the end of this contract, it's not going to be enough money. Remember that. It's never about the money. All right, guys. I'm glad that we're fighting for our voice to speak, and that's the important part. Right? What we're doing here is showing how strong the union can be. Because while enough money in the world will never be the answer, when we have strength in numbers and solidarity, we could fight for more things that are important, like the cost of healthcare, okay? Like the amount that the post office will pay in the future for our healthcare, okay? For contractual things like mandatory overtime, okay? We could fight for a better starting wage, all right? And then as we progress, we could find other things that our union has given back to the Postal Service in the past couple decades that, you know, we may want back. All right, but that all starts with this negotiation. That starts with this tentative agreement. And, you know, it's all through solidarity. And that's what the bigger picture is. It's not about a 2.5% wage increase, because that's not enough either. Okay, if we're not talking 20%, we're not talking, right? But the point is showing the world, showing the country, showing the employer that the union is strong again. Now we could get things done, and it doesn't have to take 20 years. And who knows, we may be able to buy back our CCA time if we get strong enough. All right, guys, until next time I'll be here, you'll be there. Peace. Happy New Year.